Hi, my name's Scott Elnes, and a little over a year ago a mutual friend introduced me to a man named Philip Price. Hi, my name's Scott Elnes, and a little over a year ago a mutual friend introduced me to a man named Philip Price.
Philip is a good man, and he's done just well enough in life that he doesn't have to worry about earning a paycheck in order to pursue his passions. And Philip's biggest passion in life is the plight of the Sri Lankan elephant. So much so that he assembled a small crew to fly to Sri Lanka to shoot a documentary to raise awareness about the plight.
It's a first-person point of view hug. Hey!
And I was one of them. Meet Dashel Pare Mayer. Dashel was brought over as our still photographer, and at age 33 is semi-retired. So I wanted to hate him, but I couldn't.
Dashel, do you find it difficult that the ladies find you so irresistible? Sorry, ladies, he's married.
Lauren Wheeler is a vegan who was basically raised by hippies, and I'm a meat eater who was raised by Republicans, so wasn't sure if we were going to get along or not. But I soon found that Lauren is a true cinematographer. His art is in his eyes, and his sense of humor made us instant brothers. Words can't really contain Ann Cook. She's a single mother of two with a smile that rarely fades. And I swear if the devil himself walked into the room, she'd sit him down and ask him how his day was. So yeah, I liked her instantly. And then there's me.
Hello, hello, hello!
But you're about to see and hear this entire story through my eyes and ears anyway, so why don't we just move on? Let's have just a little bit more cuteness. Okay, we can move on now. SavingGanesh.org is a non-profit founded many years ago by Philip Price. Prior to this trip, we had several public events and a lot of strategic planning potlucks.
We are just under a week away, and Ann is cutting cilantro.
Ready.
Then there were the immunizations, which made Ann a little queasy.
Well, this is it. All the packing, all the preparation, everything is all coming down to this now. We are getting ready to head to the airport. The pit is in the stomach. Here we go.
After 36 hours of sitting on airplanes and in airports, we finally found ourselves in Sri Lanka. But then it hit us. The shit's gotten real. But thankfully, we spent our first couple of days here, going through an inventory of all of our gear. So I guess you could say it was a soft landing.
Well, after 2 well-deserved days of R&R in the Bujits.
What the hell is Bujits?
Shut up.
Our workdays consisted of getting up at sunrise every day and chasing elephants. That is, until the day came that an elephant decided to chase us instead.
Whatever you do, don't stop rolling.
Sadly, none of us were rolling when the elephant charged, so there's no video of it. But I was rolling right after.
I saw it. Faked us out. He was.
Please tell me about that on video, Scott.
I did not. Faked us out. He's like, I'm walking away, and then he came right after us. That was really frightening.
And leave it up to me to wrap up the experience with a profound statement.
First elephant charge. Done.
Yeah, I got skills. Our first real emotional challenge came on a day that was seemingly quiet. We got an unexpected phone call that forced us to jump and mobilize quickly.
So we were about to spend a day at cultural sites here in Sigiriya when we received a call from the director of conservation program that there was a collision. A train had collided with 2 elephants and killed them.
As we arrived on site, the details began to emerge. A family of elephants were attempting to cross the railroad tracks late at night. When a train traveling faster than the posted speed limit saw them, it slammed on its brakes so hard that the pressure cracked cement ties and derailed the train. In its wake, 2 dead elephants. Both of them were just babies. Yep, this is the day when doing our jobs jumped up an emotional notch. And as the rain began to fall, so did our spirits.
Well, events like this are, not only hard to describe, they're hard to deal with. Seeing, seeing death so closely, this is why we're here. It's one of the hard parts of the job that, we're trying to help a species from going extinct. And so this is one of those days that we just happen to have to witness the dying part of it.
But there would be no time for grieving. We needed to interview wildlife officials and locals to hear their story. One of which I'm sure resonated with Anne more than the rest of us. Anne being a mother of 2.
The other sad part of this whole story is that we were interviewing some locals, and one of them told us that when the babies died, one of the mothers stood by the dead babies and wailed until sunrise. And she said the voice sounded almost human, and she said it made her sad because she was a mother and she remembered wanting to protect her kids, and that this elephant was unable to do that, and she knew what that pain would likely feel like. So it's been a very difficult day, but this is why we are here. So I'm trying to take it in stride and just keep everybody informed and try to be grateful for living.
Echo water candy. Echo water candy.
But don't worry, there were plenty of good days.
On a scale of 1 to suicide, how excited are you for this process this morning?
42.
Ooh, that's the answer for everything.
No, I learned today 9 is the answer to everything. 9. I thought it was 7, it's actually 9.
9! What's 79 inches and completely insane?
After all, when you're making a documentary that can help save elephants, with a crew of passionate individuals who are also newly found friends, well, that experience has a lot more to do with life than death.
Well, on this trip, we saw about 18 elephants. I tell you one thing, it's a lot better to see them alive and walking.
Our biggest challenge came once again on a day that started out seemingly quiet, and another unexpected phone call that forced us to mobilize quickly. We drove for hours through some of the most remote portions of Sri Lanka and found ourselves on the edge of a village that an elephant had traveled to in obvious pain. He wasn't able to hold down any food and was noticeably emaciated. Early speculation was that it had been injured by a hakapatas.
Woo! That was a hakapatas, which is a small explosive device that poachers make out of black gunpowder that is oftentimes given to them by for firecrackers to ward off elephants. And then they put in rocks for a spark. They wrap it in food, and then typically a small animal will eat that and obviously not survive. Elephants will eat it, and it will injure them critically, but it will lead to a slow and agonizing death.
Sadly, in this case, death was the end result, as we found out when we arrived on scene the next day.
As we were nearing the site of where the elephant was yesterday, we got word that it just passed away just a couple of minutes ago. So we're going to go investigate and talk to the doctor that's now on site.
A local villager told us that the elephant had arrived at the edge of this farm just a few days ago. He believed the elephant intentionally came to their village as a cry for help. The villagers took pity and contacted the authorities, but the help arrived too late. The on-site autopsy revealed that the elephant had not been injured by a hakapatas, but had been shot through the oral cavity by a farmer who was likely protecting his crops. Yet another casualty in the human-elephant conflicts that are becoming more and more common in Sri Lanka these days.
Scott's shooting a video blog right
But the final steps of our journey were as happy as they were unexpected. A side trip to India brought some of the most heartwarming human-to-human interactions of my life. They defied language, defied culture, and erupted with joy.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, sir.
Happy New Year.
Nice to meet you.
Everywhere we traveled, we were greeted with open arms and smiling faces. Like this experience, when I was busy trying to record some content for the film.
Hi, my name's Scott.
This little boy came up to me with eyes as wide as saucers. And this is not a recreation. This is how it actually unfolded. 1 became 2, 2 became 3, and then those 3 gave us a moment that will almost literally make you die from cuteness. Ready, set, go.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Oh, but it didn't stop there. In the weaver's village of Bedadula, I came face to face with the reality that I was the Pied Piper of India. And it was awesome. Yep, the human interactions in India would change my life. But as a storyteller, they actually caused me some distress. I mean, I'd come here to raise awareness about the plight of the elephants. But now it seemed like there was something more to the story, but I just couldn't figure out how to tell it. Ironically, it was during a power outage that it came to me. This film isn't just about the plight of the elephants. It isn't just about a small crew of passionate individuals who have a story to tell. No, this film is about the spirit of life. How it can be harnessed and united for good, and how it can get people to fly halfway around the world to bring awareness to a common message. That whether you are human or wildlife, whether you were born to this earth to become food to another animal, or to run free in the jungle, all of life deserves to be treated fairly. Because it's then that we can connect with the power of creativity within all of us, and use that power to create our statement about this idea called life.
And maybe, just maybe, that ideal will change the life of one person. Or if we're lucky, change the world.
And either way, that idea alone sure makes it a lot easier to sleep at night. And I love sleep.
And in fact, here's a couple coming up right behind.
And Scott's now the Pied Piper of the weaving village.
Kids, do not try this at home. It could lead to retinal explosion. You know it's warm outside when you step out of the van and instantly your glasses fog up. Where are you? So we ended up driving almost 4